Since the Pretrial Fairness Act took effect, Illinois has made a fundamental commitment. That freedom before trial should be decided by safety and justice, not by the size of someone's bank account. That was the right call. By passing this law was only the first step. Today, we have the chance to make it work even better. The Pretrial Success Grant Program puts resources directly into the communities where they are needed the most. It connects people released pretrial by system navigation, mental health, substance abuse services, transportation to court, and child care. These are practical tools that help people show up, stay stable, and move forward. And guess what? It's working. In just the first 5 months in DuPage County alone, 264 clients were served. Over 2,000 individual services were provided, and 487 transportation trips prevented failure to appear in court. People kept their court dates. They stayed connected to services. That is community safety, okay? So Victor B., a program participant, called it a lifesaver. Howard B. said he didn't know what he would have done without it. These are real people who needed a bridge, and this program built one. Right now, we are funding only 5 service areas at $3.5 million. The ask before us today is to grow this to $15 million and reach all 12 service areas statewide. Every county deserves what DuPage is experiencing. More than 120 organizations, from NAMI, Illinois, to the Illinois Coalition Against Domestic Violence, to the Catholic Conference of Illinois, have endorsed this expansion. This is a remarkable, broad coalition united around a simple truth. When we invest in people, communities are safer. Let's give this program the resources it earns.
It's an honor to join everybody here. It's an honor to join the folks from the Illinois Network for Pretrial Justice to fight for investments that would ensure that those awaiting trial have access to the essential resources they need. You know, this funding would be critical to our working class communities, especially Black and brown working class communities that experience higher rates of policing and incarceration, experience higher rates of disinvestment and poverty. By supporting funding for the Pretrial Success Program, Illinois can take an even more direct approach to reducing incarceration across the state, expanding access to vital community services such as case management, mental health care, child care, transportation, and substance use disorder services for individuals awaiting trial. And look, let's go back. When we look at cash bail, it yanked millions of dollars from working class communities, particularly working class Black and brown communities that were already struggling from decades of disinvestment. So let's be clear. When we talk about public safety, we have to talk about the fact that there was a system in place that put people in more poverty, broke up families, made it so that it was more difficult for them to live, more difficult for them to put food on their table, to pay for rent, to make sure their kids have a backpack or shoes for school. And we, in Illinois, the only state in the country, said that we are going to make sure that we put people over money. And that's what we did with our pretrial system. And now we have had a next step that we need to expand on and to make sure that every county is like DuPage County. So we moved away from the system. We made sure to invest in working class people. In a period in time when we talk about affordability and people are struggling, there are people who are struggling more and more who need to make sure that they have some money to be able to get from one place to another, and particularly that means their home and to the courthouse. So when we stood together and did that, we made history, and we have an opportunity to continue to push forward on that. You know, you hear the number $15 million, but I think the most important cost that matters is how do we make sure that a mom is able to be with her kid? How do we make sure that families stay together? How do we make sure that people feel comfortable with a roof over their head? And how do we make sure people feel secure in a moment in a time of crisis? We have a unique opportunity to continue to reimagine safety here in Illinois. And let me just say, because there's often a media narrative about what we did 4 or 5 years ago with the Pretrial Fairness Act. Crime is down in Cook County. Crime is down in Joliet. crime is down throughout the state of Illinois. It was not that long ago that we were told that when we do things like this, it will throw open the jail cell doors, that it was going to be the purge. And I want you to know the only thing that's been purged is this terrible narrative. And there are political actors who want to continue to come back to this empty and dry well to try to gain benefit in the electoral year that is 2026. What I will say is that all of us in Illinois who care about public safety in every zip code, particularly for working class families, need to make sure that they have the resources they need in a time of crisis. And so we want people to show up at trial, and the way to do that is to make sure they have a bus pass, to make sure that they have childcare, to make sure that they have support. So Illinois has a unique opportunity to continue to move forward and be a leader in this country on what it means to provide safety for everybody in every zip code in every corner of the state. I'm proud to support this. I hope that we as a legislature can move forward with this. I hope the governor is willing to move forward with this. Let's keep moving Illinois forward, and let's keep building on the gains we made in public safety since 2021.
Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to keep up to date with news from the caucus. For more information on what the senator is working on, please follow them on social media using the links in the description below.